Okay, we're live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the 20th episode of Dash Attack's Old White Road. I'm joined by regulars, Dignified Cartoon Gentleman, Zine, Damien, Galaxy Red, and today's guest, Slay Every Game. Welcome to the show, Slay.
Hello. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah, we got a good show. We got 5 topics, mostly gaming and entertainment related, but we've got one really breaking topic to discuss that, like, I don't know, it's like something we've all imagined, especially us Halo players, the day when we have this. But I'll leave it to Digny.
I'll tell you this, folks, you're gonna be blown away by our 5th topic, but I'll leave that for later, because I guarantee that they'll use it against us one day. And just as a disclaimer, no, we are not an AI channel. No, we are not AI bots, despite the fact that we all look like artificial constructs. We are all real people who, for one reason or another, have to be cartoons, right? Myself by necessity, everyone else here by choice. Okay, so it's good to see everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Dash, why don't you catch up with the chat, because I'm actually writing down this 5th topic.
All right,
yeah, we got breaking news topic.
Joining us today we've got Justice. Hey, how's it going?
It's
Jeremiah. Yeah, I know. I just with X, I mean, with YouTube, like making the names, like just going by people's handles, it's kind of hard. We got Hugo, our friend.
Hey,
yeah,
Dash, I have an idea. Why don't you bring up all the people and let Galaxy Red say hi to them, and then someone can interrupt him.
Someone can interrupt him. Wow.
All right, Galaxy, go on ahead.
No.
See, look, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it when the
tables turn.
Well,
exactly.
I am not.
Oh yeah, he was going to date Ryan. Dash. You misspelled
It's a good fucking job. I'm writing down a topic, Galaxy. It's a good job. Go ahead, Dash.
He was all like, "Oh, you misspelled." Outer Worlds. Oh, yeah, you misspelled.
Well, I mean, it's.
Good. Rather get taken care of. I mean, it is good. You let me know.
Yes, it's not Dash's fault. He's dyslexic.
Exactly.
But it is great to see everyone. I hope you're all. Hope you're all doing well. I do have a piece of good news, folks. If you're sick and tired of seeing the P. Diddy of content creation on SNH, you may not see him too often because he's busy working at a certain company that is working on certain fuck-ups that everyone is having to endure because they use computers of a certain software. So there you go, folks. Great to see everyone. Hope you're all doing well. We're going to now catch up with the panel after we've caught up with the chat. If you haven't already, like the stream, share the stream. Donations are always welcome. And if you are messing with your keyboard, I will fucking punt you to the moon. Okay?
It's me. Sorry.
Good. Well, you'd like a good punting from a man, Damien, but next time, just mute yourself, okay?
Oh, we got our first super chat before we go in. Yep.
Who wants to speak?
Kim says, "What's up, guys? Also, is there any game to be excited about aside from GTA 6? Blood of Dawnwalker." That's what I'm going to say. That's my answer.
Well, thank you for that donation, my good man, or lovely lady. First of all, I'm going to assume you are not blind, because I do know some blind creators and blind viewers. I know that's a contradiction in terms, but have you read the title of this show?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we're excited for anything in the title.
Why are you running for cover for this person? Do you know this person?
Huh? What?
Uh,
No, I'm
if
just
you're
I'm
asking
just
me,
teasing. I'm
Nathan's a
teasing.
regular.
Yeah, I'm teasing. Come
Mhm.
on, guys. I can't just tease the queer. He got cock-blocked by Marvel Rivals recently. He's in a sad mood. So I gotta tease other people. Isn't that right, Damien?
I would say you're wrong, but I am actually peeved about the situation.
See, look. So I'm right for the wrong reasons for once, instead of wrong for the right reasons. But Dash, how have you been?
I've been good. I've been playing my Mod Retro Chromatic, playing one of the original games for it. Tested some of my old Game Boy games, and am surprised to say that my like 20-year-old like Super Mario Land 2 saves are still on the cartridge.
Shit.
Good.
Yeah,
I
that was crazy. But yeah. So yeah,
Mhm.
just been keeping up and was playing the new fighting game K-
2x.
2XKO.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2XKO. Was playing that with a supporter of the channel, Michael. It's a fun game. Fun game, League of Legends fighting game. So I'm just waiting for my boy Gnosis to get in.
Good. Well, it's nice to know something was inspired by League of Legends that isn't complete toxic trash that should be illegal. Okay, well, thank you for that, Dash. How about you, Zine? How have you been?
I'm doing good. I started my new game since I'm done with V's 8. Uh, Total Annihilation Kingdoms. It's the fantasy version of the Total Annihilation game, the RTS.
Good. Anything else?
Uh, Not really.
They still working on Trails of Gold Steel.
Yes, that still working on Trails of Cold Steel. I mean, hey, I'm actually almost done with that one too. It won't be long. For me to be completing that one.
Hmm. No, sorry, I was just browsing X to look at penguin memes. That is not a topic, folks, but yeah, those penguin memes, man. How about you, Galaxy Red? You love to talk. How have you been?
Been okay, I guess. One day I had my Psychonauts 2 stream. Pretty good so far. And Tuesday, Final Fantasy 14, and Wednesday was Donkey Kong Bonanza. So not much else. Tomorrow there's gonna be snow, so I might not be able to stream tomorrow. So I'll have to see.
Well, that's fantastic for me because I'm supposed to set up 2 shows tomorrow. And if every American panelist is snowed in and your Wi-Fi's gone, I can fucking relax. So I hope you guys get Greenlanded for the next 48 hours. Consider it your free trial. You want Greenland? You're going to have a taste of Greenland before you have it. Literally. Literally.
I mean,
But
we
thank you.
already, already had it with that ice storm years ago.
We'll have
Yeah,
some
well,
more.
that was in Texas, right? So
Yeah.
it didn't really have it too much over here in the west or the East Coast. So there was
Literally,
it was bad back then too, but it wasn't really
Mhm.
like an ice storm. So it's just a little bit
I'll
of
tell
snow.
you this, guys, right? The most effective territory at resisting America has been Greenland, right? America has wanted Greenland for at least 150 years. The most effective country at resisting America, sadly, it's North Korea, who has resisted America for just over 80 years. But yeah, do you either want a bit of Greenland or a bit of North Korea, guys? Let's face it. I think you'd rather take the bad weather over a giant fatty boom boom running your country to the point of starvation. Okay? Good.
Yeah.
So how about you, Slay? How have you been? Been a while. How have you been?
Yeah, I've been doing good. Just been really busy up until like the past few weeks. As I told you, I lost one of my jobs, and also my girlfriend lost her job at the same time. So we were both busy job searching, and she just got a new job this morning, which was awesome. And
Nice.
thanks to the generous contributions of my viewers, I set up a tier system and made Content Creator Deathmatch its own like little standalone show that can be achieved by like hitting a certain goal for the week. And for 2 weeks in a row, I hit that goal, so that was pretty cool. I was able to do my first 2 episodes of Content Creator Deathmatch.
Mhm. Well, that's good to know. I think it's very sad that you lost your job. Quite frankly, I also find it very sad that women have to work.
Yeah,
You could have had her job
she told me
and
to
be like,
take it and take down the company from the inside.
yeah, you can work 3 jobs. You can pull a Jose and work 3 jobs, and she
Yeah.
can do her job at home.
Yeah.
Like Damien. Damien works from home. Don't you, Damien?
I actually have 2 days in the office because the managers are insistent that we show face.
Good.
I
And
would
yours
like
is the
to
prettiest.
not.
And yours is the prettiest face in the company. That's why you have to go there for 2 days.
I know it's just Jewish behavior, unfortunately.
Oh, Jeff.
Wow. Right to it.
The company is owned by Jews.
Well, yeah, he has
Oh,
told me that it is true.
Oh dear. Oh my. Well, folks, like the stream while it's still on the air. Last time I checked, we were at 8. Dash told me before the show started we were on 10, and then I checked we were on 8. So YouTube either took 2 away or Dash was mistaken. I trust Dash's judgment, so I think
I
YouTube
meant
took
likes.
some away.
I meant likes, not views.
Yeah, no, he did say likes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're now at 14 likes now.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we appreciate everyone's support. So what about you, Damien? How have you been?
I've been well. I was obviously looking forward to the tournament participation, but that didn't happen. Aside from that, I got paid early today, so I got to splurge. But outside of that, nothing new except for the video I done in Lily Phillips and a baptism and still wanting to do OnlyFans while being a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have to check that one out. I did like the video you did on the male VTubers.
Oh yeah, I have another one coming on Cairo, a reaction.
Nice.
I tell you this, folks, right? Damien is a talented content creator, right? I'd say, let's do a tier list, huh? Let's do a tier list of the panel, right? The most
Oh, damn.
criminally underrated people are on the right, okay? The most talented people are on the left, and the people who look like monsters are the people in the middle are monsters. Slay looks like one, and I actually am.
Okay.
So there you go. There you go. Now let's I was once described as the Harvey Weinstein of content creation once.
Wow, what a thing to be
Yeah.
compared to.
Yeah, that's why I called Atreus the P. Diddy of content creation.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Motherfucker. But now for the first topic. Let's
All
write
right,
it
yeah.
down for 13 minutes. And don't worry, folks. Atreus only watches black content creators, so he won't watch this at all. 13 minutes and 55 seconds. Dash, why don't you talk and provide some context on this Fable situation while I get some grape juice?
All right. So, as you all know, the Fable reboot has been MIA for a while. The last we saw of it, a couple times they showed it, they had this ugly ass female character who is still in the game, but they've made it so you can be a male character. Microsoft has this showcase. It's like the only thing they have in the pipeline, and it's not even going to be console exclusive. It's coming to PlayStation. So yeah, PlayStation gets more games. So I am a Fable fan, though I've only ever beaten the second game. I played a little bit of the first game, never got very far in it. But the Fable series was very known for its being like very edgy and stuff like that. You could be like a total dick in those games. They even had like gay marriage in it, like in both the games, like because back then that was considered edgy back then. So like, but now that we live in a different time, I just am very skeptical that this is even going to be like Fable. I don't know. Some people that have seen this were impressed, but I'll see what you guys think of it. I'm going to play some of the showcase.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we could just do it without the sound.
Oh,
but,
right.
yeah.
Jeez.
That way we could just like talk about it, Or,
No, I can't wait for Xbox to just claim this anyway.
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
because that's another reason why I would say play without sound. That way we could talk about it, and we don't talk about it.
Oh, wait, this is the 2024 showcase. Where's the new showcase?
I was wondering a little
Where's
bit there.
the new showcase?
Yeah,
Folks,
it should be.
Folks,
That's
it should,
a
right there. Yeah, there is for the gameplay teaser. That's the only one on there.
Oh,
Damien
That's
is
barely
only
it.
one. Damien is only one subscriber away from 80, so check out Damien's channel.
yeah,
Full screen
to
it,
Damien.
Dash. Come on.
Okay, yeah. Oh, here's the one that's getting in all the thumbnails is the chicken costume.
Yeah,
Did you say chicken costume or chick-in costume?
It is a chick in a costume.
yeah, but there's
It's
also
hard to
a,
tell.
there's also
because
a
she's so
chicken
flat.
costume.
But yeah, but it is
So
a chick
both.
in costume, but it's also a chick in a costume.
I love the tongue twister element of this because it enables this panel that is notorious for not talking to start talking and arguing over a tongue twister. Because look, I want to electrocute these people sometimes to get them to talk. So yeah, is it a chick in a costume or is it a chicken costume? Let's literally argue about that for
Both.
20 minutes.
Well, anyway, if you want to look for the actual like developer overview, I'll just link it in the private chat because it's from IGN though. It's not from Xbox.
What they have to make that, yeah, because that's where all the meat and potatoes was for the thing, and this is just a sizzle reel of shots.
That part, this stuff they show here, it wasn't a developer video.
What's
So
so
Yeah,
strange?
same Lucid. I did not feel very excited. I feel like it's trying too hard to be Fable. To be
Yes.
honest.
Yes,
yeah,
because
well, I mean that's the point.
Look, guys, we all know that Fable as a trilogy went off the rails, okay? Went off the rails so much that it literally led to Xbox killing a company during the peak of Xbox, right? Which is completely unprecedented. A company at its peak does not start slaying studios. But the reason they slayed the makers of Fable was because they literally went insane, especially with their third project. Right?
I
You're
agree.
a prince, you rebel against the king, you can do all these other things, and that sort of thing. People didn't really like Fable 3, right? They like Fable 2, they didn't really like Fable 3. And what's interesting about this new attempt at Fable is that if they get this wrong, that's it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Microsoft has killed every Fable spin-off thing they've tried to do. They killed a rail shooter. They killed a 4v1 game, isometric, where one guy plays the dungeon master. I was looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. And what the people over Playground Games, they are the makers of Forza Horizon, right?
Yeah.
And Forza Horizon 6 is due to come out in May of this year. So the same people who make Forza Horizon 4, 5, and now 6 are making this game. And I'm thinking to myself, I know for a fact this game will look great, but will it stay true to what Fable was all about? That is the key.
Yeah.
Okay.
This game is supposed to be was made with the Forza engine too. It's not like the other
Which is even
Unreal or anything.
weird.
Let's listen to.
I know a racing game engine using for this is kind of weird to me, but
let's listen in a little bit.
And the legendary Heroes Guild.
It's a huge city, full of contrasts. Rich and poor, nobles and commoners, royalty and criminals. You'll spend plenty of time here during the game, as you discover the secrets of the Heroes Guild and its reclusive guildmaster, Humphrey the Golden.
There,
Yeah, there she is.
In the north of Albion, you'll find mountains, craggy coastlines, spooky marshes, and the bleak, windswept city of Bloodstone. Here, you'll meet the leaders of two rival gangs, vying for power, and uncover the secrets of the sinister but extremely well-organized Cult of Shadows. Our Albion is beautiful.
That
Can I just say
sounds very
something?
innovative, doesn't it? That sounds very innovative, doesn't it? The Cult of Shadows. You cannot put black in anything, can you? You can't call it the Black Cult.
The thing
Because
for me is
people like
that
this guy would bitch about it.
the problem with the entire presentation of the game is that there's nothing to get excited about. Like the overall delivery is like, play our game because it's a game.
Very
and
dry
everyone
and
should like
soulless.
it. And then
Yeah.
even what's getting showcased to us is underwhelming. It's not showcasing
because
game mechanics or anything that would play interest.
It's very matter of fact because because I remember when Fable was first announced, right? This reboot, there was a massive backlash to it.
Yeah,
Massive.
mostly
Right?
because of the female character. But then they were
Exactly.
But now they're saying like, hey, you can make your own. So it's not like you're not.
Yeah, they had to make that
But-
abrupt change.
yeah, but the
and I-
guy
Yeah.
still walks like a girl.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. I saw
That's
that too.
and that's how you know it was an abrupt change because they didn't have time to change how the guy was walking. That wasn't the original plan. They had to abruptly change that when they made the announcement that you could essentially create your own character because the original plan was for that lady to be the main character, the Mary Sue, basically the Ray archetype, right? Ray, that sort of thing.
Right.
There was a massive backlash to that. And that's why this direct is being not just direct, but very matter of fact. Because what you're seeing here, whether it works or not is a different matter. What you're seeing here is 52 minutes of rebuilding trust, right? That's why they're going.
Oh, this wasn't
through
the
all
whole
minutiae.
presentation. This wasn't the like they
Yeah, they
talked
had-
about a bunch
they had
of other
different
games that
Yeah.
Game Freak's new
Well,
game that actually looks better than like most Pokemon, and some gay pottery game with a literal gay guy talking about butts.
Gay pottery game. Coming,
Yeah, and that was-
coming to
and that was
Natasha
made by-
Black near you.
And that one's made by
Okay.
Tim Schafer. You know, Double Fine and stuff. The
Yeah, like How the Mighty
was
Have
like,
Fallen.
what?
They even put a copy of Brutal Legend in the foreground just to make you remember of when
And
they were
Psychonauts,
real
too.
death.
They had Psychonauts there too for.
But
you know.
let's face it, guys, right? Making Fable from Forza Horizon 6's engine would be like making Ghosts of whatever the fuck they turn it into out of the Gran Turismo engine. What are we doing? I know, because I'm a big fan of Playground games, right? Because unlike most of Microsoft and Xbox's franchise, the Forza Horizon franchise has been a standout success. 4, 5, and 6, and I think 6 will do as well as 4 and 5 did. They're all standout examples of successful projects, right? But I'm just like, can you really turn a game engine purpose built for, fast cars?
Oh wow!
Right.
Hey, that
And-
almost looks like the main character of the default for Fable 2 and Fable 1.
Yes. Yes, and they were
Yeah,
all, they were
but-
all last minute additions, obviously.
Yeah, but that's
Obvious.
not going to be. I
Yeah.
mean, even if it is like that, like you said, they still kept the animations for the woman.
Yeah,
the
obviously
character.
this is nostalgia bait right here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
little
just to
thing.
get people to
It's
buy
just-
thinking,
Member berries.
it's just a visual thing, and that's it.
I'm just of the mindset of, can you turn a games engine whose primary role is fidelity in regards to an open world driving game, right, into a project like this. Again, we are seeing some gameplay footage here. Pause, literally pause. This reminds me of Dragon Age Inquisition or Greedfall. Dash recently played Greedfall.
Yep.
Doesn't this remind you of Greedfall?
A little bit. Like,
Hmm.
they do have guns, I think, in this
Yep.
game. I'm not sure, but yeah, like, enemies walking around like
Yep.
hot bars.
I just think this is very interesting, right? Because you can try and make your world all colorful and all sorts of different characters and different open worlds. Avowed tried to do that, and look what happened to it. It completely failed, right?
Mhm.
You need a good
I
game
mean,
in addition to
and-
that. You need good mechanics, you need good combat.
well, these mechanics are of a different era. One of the reasons people liked Greedfall so much, right? And I think, Dash, did you enjoy playing Greedfall?
Oh yeah, I'm going back to it. I like the tactic thing. I'm
Hmm.
playing on hard difficulty. I like the gunplay is really fun.
But one of the main reasons Greedfall, released in 2019, was such a standout success was not primarily because of the game itself, right? If Greedfall had released in 2015, around the same time as Dragon Age Inquisition and The Witcher 3, and if it was exactly the same game with exactly the same graphics and exactly the same, setting, right? But made by the same people using the same technology, it would have completely bombed. The timing of Greedfall's release was its greatest asset. Likewise with The Outer Worlds, likewise with Doom Eternal. Timing is almost as important as the game quality release itself. Because what were the games released in late 2018 and 2019? Fallout 76 and Anthem.
Ouch.
Yeah. Literally, for action, adventure, role-playing games, whether it was offline or online. For online, it was Fallout 76, which was a complete fucking disaster. And for offline, well, not offline, it was also online, Anthem, right? And it just goes to show, when all these major companies fail, it allowed a group like Spiders, who made Greedfall, to swoop in and release a game that IGN gave 8 out of 10. There's no way Greedfall is an 8 out of 10 fucking game. Okay? How is Dragon Age 2 an 8 out of 10 game in 2011 and Greedfall is an 8 out of 10 game in 2019, despite the fact that in terms of gameplay and mechanics and how they operate, they're almost exactly the same game.
Time's
Except
not
for the-
frozen. Time's not
Hmm?
frozen in this. This monster is not attacking the player.
No. No, it's just like, I'm an innocent spirit, don't hurt me, racist. It's probably like, oh, you're a ghoul racist. I'm just thinking to myself, I don't think this will succeed, right? Because when is this going to be released? Do we know?
Well,
This year, they said 2026 though, fall.
Well, like the gap between this and Fable 3 is like so vast that you basically have to reintroduce an entire
Yep.
generation to the concept of Fable.
Dragon Age tried to do that. Look what happened.
Well,
Okay.
yeah. Well, and another thing too, this is supposed to be a prequel to the first Fable.
No,
Yeah, that's what they said.
This
They
is
said
their
it's
version. It's their version of Albion. They said it.
Well, no, yeah, but they did say that it's supposed to be like Albion before all the other stuff that happened. So
They didn't say prequel.
no, they didn't say prequel, but it's implied that it's a
Well,
prequel.
my impression is that it's an alternate universe. It's their take.
My impression is that this project will be completely fucked if it's released in 2026, especially if GTA 6 manages to get its act together and release this year. If GTA 6 releases in 2026, I guarantee Fable will fail. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, talking about the release is when Silk Song was being released. So
Dash, for
Damn
sake.
it! Stop hurting those innocent goblins, you anti-Semites! Stop being racist!
just talking about the
The thing is, would it be racist if they're being represented? Isn't that a good thing?
Yeah, so
No,
let's go
stop
to
quoting that.
here's how you can
No.
talk to the town people. This is like where they really
Okay.
try and sell you on this being Fable.
to them.
Slay disappeared.
Oh! He must have lost connection.
The snow has fallen.
Oh shit.
I don't think that was the reason why.
Guys,
Because snow's not really.
I know-
until tomorrow. Probably.
I know what this game engine would be perfect for. I know what Fable's game engine would be perfect for, right? A Game of Thrones game.
Well, it's already been done before.
No. A Game of Thrones game that actually finishes the story.
Oh damn!
Well, I mean, there was one out, but it's not like.
Yeah, Telltale didn't finish their story.
I'm not talking about Telltale either. I'm talking about another Game of Thrones game that came out, but it's.
Why is
It
this
was
Chinese
a side
spy?
story, kind of.
Why is this Chinese spy working on the game?
And we've built that same experience in the middle of our game too. Buying a house, getting a job, making some money.
Romancing a villager, getting married, having kids.
Fancy a date?
Perfect. You can get to know me better.
Buying another house. Buying every house in Albion. Buying every business in Albion. Getting rich.
Marrying a bunch more people, having a bunch more kids.
Sorry,
Getting
what?
divorced along the way for good measure.
Horse.
Oh, in the
Shouldn't
original game,
What the fuck?
in the original game, you could have multiple husbands and wives.
Inshallah, this game is made for Muslims.
Yeah.
It is, literally. But it's good to see that they're at least putting that effort into it, right? It's good that they're doing that. Okay. I'm sorry to ask this, but in 2026, you gotta ask this: is that a woman?
On the right.
It might.
No, on the left, Galaxy. What do you fucking think I meant?
I have no idea.
Honestly, it could be a trans person, but just one that's just a little bit more passable than others.
Or a
I'm
girl with
sorry,
a very
Dash.
pronounced throat.
Yeah, I'm
was
sorry, Dash.
with
You
the
just
chin
said
more,
two
but,
words.
yeah.
Dash said two words that are contradictory to one another. I want you guys to guess which one of those words were
A part-time
contradictory.
trans person.
Correct, Damien. You get 10 points. All
This
right,
isn't
then. Play the
Hogwarts.
clip. Keep playing. Play.
And this game within a game is unique to Fable. It's systemic, interconnected, and you see the ripple effects of the things you do everywhere you go.
And all of this revolves around the people who live in Albion, who we call the living population. There are more than 1,000 of them, and every single one is unique. Each of them has a name, a role, a daily routine, and their own personality. You could follow any one of them for a day and just watch them live their life.
They'll get up, go to work, spend some leisure time on hobbies, then go home to bed.
But what's even cooler is that you can talk to every single one of them in fully voiced conversations and interact with them in loads of different ways. Maybe the job they go to is working for you because you hired them to work in one of your businesses.
Hey, you. Working hard? How can I help you, boss?
Maybe the bed they sleep in is in a house you own because you're the landlord.
Or maybe their bed is on the street because you evicted them. All right?
Oh, it's you. You're awful.
And all of the stuff you do affects what they think of you.
You're a legend.
Because everything you do builds your reputation.
Very impressive.
Now that's an hero right there.
Morality has always been super important to Fable. That tension between good and evil underpinned all of the original games. And morality is central to our game too. But we have a slightly different take on it.
For us, morality
Or
isn't
Chicken
black and white.
Chaser. That was a nickname in the original Fable 2. Chicken
Might
Chaser.
wanna-
He chases chickens.
I guess it's gonna be good on Kick.
Yeah, we'll do very well on Kick. But if you rewind a few seconds, Dash, I want to hear their different take on. That's
too far back. That's way too
far.
far back.
Yeah, thank you, Galaxy. See, that's why we keep them
Between
around.
good and evil underpinned all of the original games. And morality is central to our game too. But we have a slightly different take on it.
Ah.
Slightly different take. What does he mean by that? Right?
Morality isn't black and white.
Oh wow.
No, of course.
When the entire point of Fable was the fact you could either just be good or evil. It wasn't like, oh, here's the D&D spectrum.
Yeah, he's
that's why
he's not evil.
and
He's
that's
just
why-
misunderstood. That's what they'll say.
That's why they use the comparison, folks. It's not black and white. This is the DEI element that's going to come in because fundamentally, folks, and this is me being serious. I'm not going to joke around and call Damien queer or Dash a cat boy here. These people don't believe in the concept of good and evil, so they have to make it a multipolar spectrum of some kind. So why don't we all listen to the next minute?
Oh yeah.
And-
Oh, this is real juicy. He said something very, very telling. Good catch.
And importantly, morality is subjective.
Pause it. Pause it. Pause it. Let's
Where
go
have we heard
as
that
one of these
before?
assholes. Fuck you. Fuck you. Right? Talk about fucking pronouns. Fuck your subjectivity. Right?
Like,
Good
didn't
and
the Joker
evil are not subjective, you utter cunts. This should do more to piss off Fable fans than an ugly cunt.
Didn't the Joker say the exact same thing, and he was portrayed as like the bad guy that we weren't supposed to root for in the Joker movie?
Now I hope this fails. Please, let's continue. Sorry for
Yeah, I just
blowing.
wanted to make that point that the whole morality is subjective thing. We saw where that leads, with in the Joker movie. Yeah. I do agree. In some games like Mass Effect, morality, gray is fine, but Fable had a very distinct good and evil.
Yeah.
No two people see things exactly the same way. And that's how it works in our game too.
Everything you do earns you a reputation. And every person in Albion will have a different reaction to you as a result.
Hello there.
Yeah, we get it. You're rich.
They'll remember things you did directly to them. They'll love you or hate you for the choices you make. And they will always tell you why. Although, usually from a safe distance.
Our game will never judge you. But the people of Albion will. Loudly.
Imbecile.
Your reputation is created by the choices you make. And you are going to make a lot of them. Big choices, little choices, moral choices, and some choices that will actually change the landscape of Albion for the rest of your game. We call this idea, your choices change the world. Let's give you an example.
Early in the game, you'll meet a character named Dave, an egotistical gardener in a rural
God.
village
Oh my
who
God.
discovers a magical growth formula. He accidentally turns himself into a giant and becomes a big problem. It'll be your job to deal with him, and ultimately it will be your choice whether to kill him or to spare him. If you kill him, his giant corpse will lie on the farmland just outside of town for the rest of the game.
And that is going to affect house prices. It will also affect what a lot of the villagers think about you.
Especially
I'm sorry,
Dave's
what?
sister.
Wait a minute, folks. So if we kill this cunt Dave, right? First of all, black guy's not called Dave. He's probably called, I don't know, Desmond. There we go. He's probably called Desmond or something like that. or Leslie or something like that, right? So if you kill this motherfucker, right, his body lies there, housing prices go down, because of course black guys in the neighborhood, of course prices go down.
Oh,
And
damn.
does his corpse rot, or does it just stay there because magic?
Well, depending on the time progression, I bet you the corpse rots over the course of the game.
Come on, guys, right? I know there's a Chinaman in this. There could be a trans thing in this, right?
I think that.
Why
Oh, I
do
wouldn't put it
is a
past them
trans
that there's
thing.
a trans NPC somewhere in.
Right?
He's part of the development
you
team.
should-
but,
You should be having, since you're Xbox, since you're Microsoft, sorry to be long in the tooth about this topic. We're definitely going over 2 hours, right? Okay.
Oh,
Have a
that we can't go over 2 hours. I kind of have to leave on time. So if we want to wrap this up, we can.
I'm just going to make this point as quick as I can. You should have a black developer telling us this, because you're giving us the choice to murder a giant black person, and if we murder him, prices will go down because a black corpse is in the neighborhood. That's all I'm going to say. Best of luck to you, Fable. Good and evil is not subjective, and if you think it is, go fuck yourself. Now for the second topic, ladies and gentlemen, because Dash has to go on a date in over an hour. Look, man, you got to go rushing off somewhere in an hour and 19 minutes. I'm going to assume you're going to have a hot date. How old? I mean,
I
who is
wish.
she?
I wish that would.
But no, the second topic.
It's funny you assume it's a she.
Now, I'll tell you what I'm doing when we future plans.
Good. So 41 minutes and 50 seconds, folks. We're going to talk a little bit about the Hulk. No Hulk in Avengers Doomsday, as Mark Ruffalo makes the confirmation. Good news, ladies and gentlemen. A giant green pussy is not in a film whose principal color is green. Don't you find that interesting? Anyone? No? Next topic, then. 2.3 is, come on, guys, talk.
Wait.
There's not much to say. It's like none of us like Mark Ruffalo. It's a good thing that cunt's not going to be in the film. So it's like, what else do we say?
How much better his predecessor was?
Look, guys. What we can say, Damien, first of all, is thank you all very much for watching. If you haven't already, like the stream, share the stream, donations are always welcome. Second of all, you'd think Hulk would be a great fit for Avengers Doomsday, mostly because the principal art style of the project is green. Right? One of the few characters that could really resist Doctor Doom is a gamma ray monster.
Yeah,
I know he
true.
doesn't look like that anymore, but he could. Of all the potential heroes to take on Doctor Doom and not be crushed like a bug, Prime Hulk, as you see him there, right?
Yeah.
Could do it, right? Now, apparently he's going to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So for all we know, Sony's like, we're just going to take this character and make it our own. So what's going on here?
I'm wondering if they're going to kill him off.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too.
I mean, that's what I think.
I mean, it might be, or
might be a good way to replace him and get a new Hulk with the multiverse stuff. Like we're going for a full
gonna
reboot.
Replace the male with the female is what they're going to do.
They already did that.
No, the thing is, they ruined this character with Endgame. They ruined this character with Endgame. Like, like it started in Infinity War, a movie which is like one of my favorites, with the Hulk going, no! But then like he comes back as Soy Hulk, who I've dubbed him Soy Hulk for a while because he's played by a soy boy in real life, and he plays a soy boy in the movies now.
Well, I personally think Hulk was killed by Thanos. Right, that first fight in Infinity War where Thanos beats Hulk, which is completely unbelievable.
He essentially did kill Hulk. He was too Hulk scared of Thanos. Hulk,
Yeah.
Hulk stay puny Ruffalo forever.
The same Hulk who literally took on Abomination and won. Because it's the same character. I know they recast the guy, but it's the same character. Okay. Lost to Thanos. And I think that was to really put the point across that Thanos is a force to be reckoned with, even without many of the stones. He did have the Power Stone, which probably helped. But I think what's very important about this situation is they're going to ease Mark Ruffalo out, recast him with someone new. They can't do a She-Hulk because She-Hulk monumentally failed. The She-Hulk actress doesn't have a career in Hollywood anymore because she dared to condemn Disney.
Yep.
So what are they going to do? They're going to recast Hulk into someone more palatable, right? And, who's a palatable person to play Hulk? It's obvious, it's Edward Norton.
Yes. Oh my! People will hear in the theaters if Edward Norton comes back as Hulk.
But Disney wouldn't hire him.
That makes sense with the multiverse, though, too.
Yeah, but Disney's not going to hire him though.
Why? They could easily do that. They've done like similar tricks in the past.
I just don't want to do it.
I will tell you this, guys. Right? I will tell you this from what I've seen and what I've heard. Disney's original plan after they got rid of the Kang actor, right, Jonathan Majors, their original plan was to bring back Fox's Doctor Doom, right? Unfortunately, the guy who played him died, sadly, before his time, okay? Great actor, fantastic guy. He died before his time. So they had to think on their feet. And they took Disney, for once, took something from a comic book and thought, what if we made Tony Stark Doctor Doom? Or what if we make Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom? And that's why we're in the present situation we are in. The original plan was to have the Fox Doctor Doom enter this universe because let's face it, I know the Fantastic Four films, the Fox ones,
the second one especially,
they weren't that good, but Doctor Doom, the guy who played him and the character, was well received.
I liked his Doctor Doom very much. I actually liked the first Fantastic Four movie. Like it's the second one I that really dragged.
Yes, and
I did like Michael Chiklis's thing in those movies too. He was probably the better thing.
Yeah.
I just want to make this point because I know the original Doctor Doom actor was under poor health. And I think the plan was, because he was under poor health, he essentially needed the money. And they were going to have him have the role cast for him, recast him as the same character to help him pay for his medical bills. Now, when was the last time Disney did something as altruistic as that? Unfortunately, he died, so it was a bit too little too late. But that was the plan after Jonathan Majors got punted to the moon. Okay? So I think it's very important for people to realize that when Disney's back is against the wall, they suddenly return to their roots to an insane degree, right? Because that was the sort of stuff Walt Disney did, right? People think of him as this cutthroat animator, when he was actually a generous guy who would lift people up and help people out, right? When people think of Walt Disney today, they think of a statue-hating, cryogenic Jew-hater, when he was the complete opposite in every regard except for the Jew-hating. He didn't like them. Who did back then? But I am of the view that this is good. Mark Ruffalo needs to do his own thing, man.
Yeah, have him be irrelevant. His own relevancy is Marvel. He is irrelevant without the MCU, and yet he continues to put himself into politics. It's the same thing that Mark Hamill did, where he just he overstays. he just overstays, and it's fringe stuff too. It's like more lefty than normal Hollywood.
It's so interesting. Maybe Mark Ruffalo should have been in Game of Thrones. That way his career could have faded into irrelevancy after it ended. Like the rest of them. No one got that reference? One more question for everyone before we move on to the...
Wait, what was the reference?
A Game of Thrones reference. Everyone who was in Game of Thrones' careers tanked when it ended.
Oh,
Literally
true.
all of them.
So,
yeah, I know, it's so sad. But one question for the panel, and then we'll move on to the next topic. I've now blanked on it because of Damien's question, which is annoying. What was I going to say?
Well, you can come on it, and it won't be blank anymore.
I cannot think of what I was going to say, which is very, very embarrassing. So we're just going to end the topic.
yeah, it happens. It happens. But yeah, this can only improve, and I do hope they do the Edward Norton thing, and then everyone, you see everyone being so happy. Oh my God, he's back! I bet he'll feel like real shit.
Yes, but yeah, one thing's for sure, guys. Right? This is what I was going to ask people. It wasn't really a question; it was more of a statement. That's why I got confused by it. Disney is desperate because Netflix has achieved in 20 years what it took Disney 100 years to achieve. That's why they're doing all they can to make sure these projects succeed. Because if it keeps going like this, by the end of the century, Netflix will be 10 times bigger than Disney. And that should terrify everyone here.
Yeah, don't want more cuties.
Yeah. But on that note, let's move on to the next topic. The next topic, folks, as we write it down for 51 minutes and 59 seconds, is The Outer Worlds 2 crashes and burns as sales worse than original. This is one of Dash's topics. I did reference The Outer Worlds earlier on in today's show as a game that really did well, largely because of the time frame of its release. You guys remember Outer Worlds released, I think it was late 2019?
Yeah.
And Doom Eternal released, I believe it was early 2020. Then the pandemic hit. Then a lot of projects got delayed, and it gave, especially both those games, the breathing room needed for them to succeed. Especially the Outer Worlds. What do you guys think?
Well, I think the first game, at least, kind of, it's because it's from Obsidian. They originally this is before they actually made the recent one, the not Outer Worlds 2, the other one, the
Avowed.
Yeah. So that one, it just felt like it was like kind of like a Fallout in a way, in space in a way, but it was also more of a comedic one, I guess, a comedic game too, a little bit. But they to me, it seemed like this was what they were. It was almost like their version of Starfield, I guess you could say, in a way. So it did they had, but that's the only comment I really had on that. But
that made me laugh. I know Starfield is never getting a second game, folks, but I can tell you for a fact, Obsidian could make 10 Outer Worlds games and not make the money that Starfield did. So
yeah, I know.
I mean, it's Outer Worlds didn't need a sequel.
No, I didn't.
It didn't. Because, if you take and folks, Outer Worlds is a 7-year-old game at this point, so go fuck yourself on spoilers, okay? If you side with the corpos, right, the corporate government wankers, right, basically the elite survive and everyone else just dies. Our future, if we allow the opposition to win. But if you side with, the rebel mad scientist, for lack of a better term, then you wake up all the people and you have a chance of surviving, but food supplies go through the floor, so you're risking the future of the solar system, right? So I haven't played this game. I have no plans to play the Outer Worlds 2. I did play the Outer Worlds. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I'm not going to check out the sequel. Okay, who canonically won that, or is this a fucking
Diggy?
prequel too?
I'm saying Digny or Damien.
Digny?
What?
Am I cutting out?
I don't know.
Not on our end.
Our host
I mean,
is
all you heard,
ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, all we heard was you say Digny. I don't know if you said.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Dig me
Don't
in.
worry,
Am I
folks.
cutting out? Is what?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that too. Don't worry.
So
If-
yeah,
if-
so
if
by all
that-
metrics, you're not cutting out.
Yeah, if
All right.
Dash is having a panic attack, that's perfectly fine.
No,
but-
you were talking. You finished what you were
yes,
going to
I
say.
was.
actually,
I
you already
was, and I-
finished.
And I asked the question, right?
Oh,
I asked the question, what was the canonical ending to the Outer Worlds? Was it the good ending or the bad ending? Does anyone know?
I don't know because I don't play popular games. I avoid them.
You play
Well-
Marvel Rivals. And
That is an
Fortnite.
exception. That's the exception to the rule. I only came into Fortnite like years later. Thank you very much.
The
Yeah,
devs
Fortnite,
never
but not-
really
but
said
Marvel
what
Rivals
the.
is not an old game; it's a new game.
Yeah,
I just
Marvel
know,
Rivals is the
like,
exception.
That's popular.
I
The
just know
devs
like
never-
how they marketed this game was very terrible. They had Ben Schwartz, who is like great as Sonic, being very vulgar and unfunny during these showcases. Just because he's a voice actor in the game, he was just being like, they actually gave you a negative perk for purchasing the deluxe edition called Consumerist. You gave us money? Capitalist pig.
Oh dear.
Mhm.
Hey, look, folks, Sonic for India. Rolling around at the speed of shit. But no, folks, right. I want to make it very clear that the Outer Worlds 2 could only ever stand a chance at succeeding for the same reason the Outer Worlds did, and that would be through releasing the game at just the right time while all the other role-playing game releases were crap.
I have a question, answer for your question there, Digny, about
Yes.
they say
Yes.
that this game, the sequel is a prequel, takes place 3 years before the
Oh.
events of the first game.
Oh, fuck off. Why are you calling it the Outer Worlds 2 then?
Because that's what
Same
they
way
always
in
say.
Greedfall too.
Oh, no, don't get me started on Greedfall 2. Utter wank the game, okay? Available to a queer audience near you. Stop calling things second things when they're prequels of things.
Hey,
Should have been called Zero. Outer World Zero.
Outer Worlds, go fuck yourself.
No, but then Zero would technically be a prequel in a way, right? Because the other
Outer
one's the
Worlds,
number.
the pre-sequel.
Zine, you were going to say something. Please speak.
yes. Was it? Yeah, there was basically what was it? It was a Super Nintendo game that Lily called itself the second one, but it was a prequel. So it's been that kind of thing's been around for years.
Did the game crash, burn, and die a horrible death?
I think it was better
No,
than,
it's a cult classic.
I think it was better than the sequel. in a
Devil
way.
May Cry 3 is a prequel. It's canonically the first game.
I hate that about Devil May Cry, the fact that the first one isn't the first game in the series.
Guys, it's no wonder the games industry is fucking over gamers because you accept shit like this. Okay? Oh, let's release a second game. Oh, is it a sequel to the original? No, it's a prequel. That makes total sense. What does Slay think?
I was gonna say that whole negative perk thing idea pissed me off. Like just to spit in the consumer's face and be like, haha, we made you pay pre-orders for this game and we don't really appreciate you for it.
We'll put the game on sale and you get a positive perk seeing called Cheapskate Motherfucker.
Cheapskate motherfucker.
But I'm
Maybe
just
you're
of the
called socialist.
mindset of
Yeah. Keep
yeah.
in mind
I'm
these
just
people originally
Thank
wanted
you, everyone.
$80 for this game. They
Oh, yeah,
originally
yeah,
thought
yeah.
they could do $80 until
Zine
everyone
has to leave,
said,
guys.
See you guys
Zine
later.
"Oh
has to
yeah,
leave.
oh see, bye Zine."
Bye, Zine.
Let's.
Zine.
Yeah, you want to plug yourself before?
no, he's not gay. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Lol.
All right then, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't know Zine was going to be with us for an hour. That's why I was so nonchalant about it. I'm just thinking to myself, Microsoft, Xbox, the ecosystem of missed opportunities. In almost every era of Xbox, there has been wasted potential, not missed, wasted
Absolutely,
potential. Right?
I agree.
Okay,
Mhm.
no other gaming company built a console around aesthetics alone to such an extent that the console would destroy itself. And I'm not talking about the Xbox One, I'm talking about the most successful Xbox ever released,
The
the 360. Xbox's most glorious product was literally designed. I'm sorry to say this, Dash. It was designed to kill itself.
Designed to kill itself. It was a suicidal console.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't remember how many times I've had to send that thing to get repaired.
And that's one of the main reasons. It's so ridiculous, too. It's one of the main reasons why console companies today have mid-generation upgrades. Because of the Xbox 360. It wasn't a thing before the 360.
Well, regardless of that, though, the games on the system are really good.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
You
Like the
can have the
games were great.
Yeah, but you can have the best games for a system. But if that system is purpose-built to destroy itself, there's much point in having it.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, Xbox, you deserve to die.
I don't know. The Red Ring system was supposed to help you figure out what was wrong with your system.
Really? Oh, well, here's a how-to guide on how to fix our fuck-ups. Imagine if content creators did that. Here's a guidebook, guys. If you become a member, we'll give you a guidebook on how to actually watch this show.
Lol.
Microsoft can go punt themselves to the nearest moon. So on that note, does anyone have anything else to say before we move on?
Not really.
I was
think
gonna
so.
say.
Good.
I was thinking they deserve what's coming to them ever since their announcement when they first announced Xbox One, and they were like, "You have to have it on all the time, and the Kinect's going to be listening to you no matter what." That was one of the things that pushed me away from gaming for a little bit at first because I was like,
it pushed me away
for a
from
while.
Xbox for me, so I just stopped using it.
Yeah,
for a while.
I did have an
wanna hear
Xbox
something?
360.
You guys want to hear
me too.
something? The best system Xbox has ever created was the Xbox One. Without a doubt. It's far better than the 360. I'll tell you why the Xbox One was far better than the 360, even on launch. It wasn't designed to self-immolate.
No, it was more stable. My Xbox One lasted like a long time before I had to replace it.
I have an Xbox One, right, dated December 2013. Right.
Still works?
I've never checked the
Still
date on
works.
mine.
Still works. I had to check serial numbers because they don't give you exact figures.
Yeah, I
but it
went with
still works. Yeah, go
Xbox One because of Dead Rising 3. I'm still like big Dead Rising 3 Dead Rising guy. I actually did like the third game. It was the fourth game that killed everything.
I'll tell you this, guys, before we move on to the next topic, right? The publicity of the Xbox 360 with the system setup of the Xbox One, Microsoft would have done incredibly well in the 2010s. But they had to fuck it up.
They sure did, and fucked it up. They did.
And speaking of a company that loves to fuck up, especially in the past year, folks, let's talk a little bit about Nintendo. As they let
Oh,
go one of their great developers. 1 hour, 5 minutes. Dead Dash. Take it away.
All right, here we go. So yeah, Kensuko Tanabe, who has worked on a lot of the most famous games in the series, like a lot of like Ocarina of Time, anyone? So he's worked at the company for 40 years, but after Metroid Prime 4, he said like, "No, I'm done. Someone else can take over." And I find
Well,
that very, very strange.
Look, I feel it, man. Do you know why? I'd be like that if I found out a woman was running my company.
Lol, lol. Well, he's part of the Japanese branch, so
Yeah. Yeah. Don't you guys find it odd? This guy has worked for Nintendo for 40 years, and the moment a woman ascends to a position of power, he leaves.
the thing is,
Well,
we need to remember that the Japanese are people of that focus on competency, and so most likely you were seeing this woman is incompetent, so might as well leave because I see where things are heading.
You know,
you
I
think
would agree
he
with
really
that.
left because of Pitchford?
I wouldn't put it past him.
I don't know. People overestimate how much power Pitchford actually has over like the rest of the Nintendo. Like Smash overestimates it.
Well, I think the reason for that is that when this lady was like their chief legal officer, I know that's not the exact term, folks, but when she had that position, that role, that's when Nintendo started to become lawsuit crazy. Okay? And look, yes, we're putting 2 and 2 together when we make that narrative argument, of course, right? But the idea that a legal eagle now has a top position in Nintendo should not sit well with anyone, because it's only going to double down on being lawsuit happy.
Yeah, my theories as to why Taneba quit is because, they literally had started this game with Bandai Namco developing. They made the desert. Then Nintendo decided to cancel that and gave it back to Retro Studios, the original developers of the first 3 games. But they said you have to use what Bandai Namco made already. So they had to work the game around the desert. That's what I've heard, essentially. That basically because the Nintendo didn't want to so they delayed it so they could actually build a game around someone else's. You have a mesh of visions.
But
Same problem FF15 had.
Yeah, but I do think the reason why he got left too is because he his game this game itself didn't actually do well compared to the other ones. Maybe
That's
just
what I was
It
thinking.
didn't get good reception
Yeah.
reception either.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't want to be
Yeah.
involved in a company that seems like lawsuit happy while also not simultaneously putting out as good of product as they used to. And he's like you said, he's been there since the probably
Since
Super Metroid or the original Metroid.
Since 1986.
Yeah, so
Right.
my perspectives on Metroid Prime 4, I've played some of it. The weakest part is the desert, and at least 2 of the characters are just so fucking obnoxious, and that's Mackenzie and Armstrong. Those 2 can go fuck themselves. The sniper dude who believes in this god named Solon. Yeah, he was a cool guy. I think he was Native American or something. But yeah, he was but other than that, where the game actually shined was some of the area designs and the bosses. Other than that, the core story sucked. Silac sucked as a villain.
And that's the biggest problem, right? Metroid is supposed to be a flagship for Nintendo, right? And yet, from the gameplay footage I've seen of this latest project, it's like we're playing another Halo game.
Well, they
Quite
actually did
frankly.
have 343 people work on this game, so they actually
Yes.
mooched people off Microsoft for this game,
Yes.
thinking they'd be. Oh, they worked on a sci-fi shooter before.
Do you know what guarantees success more than having 343 devs working for your project? Sticking a loaded gun in your mouth and firing.
Just load it up.
I am not joking when I make that comparison.
Oh, I know you're not.
343 Industries,
I hate 343 and what they did to my favorite franchise.
they took one of the strongest franchises Xbox ever had and annihilated it. Right? That's why I make the comparison. I don't make it to be controversial.
No, I feel you.
Like-
I feel you as a 2000s Halo bro, right? All the way.
Good God, man. It's no wonder this guy left, right? Guys, if this is a recent picture of the guy, then he started working for Nintendo at like 12 or something.
Yeah, apparently he's 60. He's in his
Okay,
60s right now.
So he's worked for Nintendo since his 20s. I don't know his exact age, right? Okay. He has worked for this company for 2/3 of his life. And now he decides to leave. Is he retiring? Is he having a great big retirement party? Or
Maybe
did he just decide to walk away?
Or maybe he
was
decided
either
to leave
forced
and then
out. He was either forced out or he quit voluntarily to go to a place where he'd actually be useful.
I was gonna say he could have went to make his own studio or something. You know, who knows?
Well, I'll tell you this, right? You don't just force out a guy who's worked for a company for 2/3 of your life. You don't.
Yeah,
right?
I think
even in
I don't think
today's
he was forced.
even in today's day and age, folks, right? Time is the ultimate tried and tested method for success. Right? Content creation's living proof. Even if it drives you nuts, if you do this for 20 years, you have that legacy factor. Look at Jay Viper, right? He's a fantastic example of this. How long has Jay Viper been doing this? Or Real Mark Fox, or 8-Bit Eric, or to put another perspective on it, Smash JT. These guys have been doing this for anywhere between 8 to 20 years. They have that legacy factor. I ain't double that for this guy, who's been at Nintendo since 1986, right? He's been at Nintendo longer than anyone on this panel has been alive.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now Galaxy's going to tell me he's like 50 or something. I don't fucking know. I don't. I honestly don't. But the point I want to make is, right, and I want to get this across to people. You don't just walk away from a position like this after spending so long being involved with so many projects over a 40-year period.
Yeah, I pulled up some of his games on he has a big list. A lot of them are some of like Nintendo's best.
Look,
you know,
guys,
there's a subset of people that blame him for ruining Paper Mario.
Oh, damn. Hey,
But,
look, guys, Dash, I'm going to make this clear. If Kathleen Kennedy can serve drinks for 35 fucking years and, you know, ride off into the sunset a legend after burning down Star Wars, I think this guy, he's a legendary figure, right, in Nintendo. Look at his record. Supervisor, advisor, assistant manager, producer, translator,
battle director. He's worn a ton of different hats. I said the same thing in my video about the topic. And he did a lot of production roles. His recent projects. His last was Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, and then Metroid Prime 4. He wrote the lore text.
And most of his roles are as a producer. And what are most of Kathleen Kennedy's roles?
Producer.
As a producer, right?
Yeah, but like he worked his way up from that.
Exactly. What was his first project? Super Mario 2.
Yeah, Super Mario
Oh,
2
no,
and
no,
some Japanese game that probably never came to the United States.
No, that's the same game. Tokyo Panic, I think, isn't it? Isn't it the one that was Super Mario Bros. 2?
Yomokoko Doko Panic?
Yeah, that was the one that was
Yep.
Super Mario Bros. 2 in Japan.
Oh, that was Super Mario Brothers 2 in Japan.
Well, it had the same
Yeah.
game mechanics,
See,
just
I
different
just-
characters.
Yeah, they just swapped it to the Mario characters in there.
Look, let's face it, right? With a record like that, the man could be heading Sega right now. I'm
True.
not kidding. He could be the head of any Japanese gaming corporation with a record like that. From 1987 until 2025, that's technically 38 years, rounded up to nearly 40 years. That's insane, right? And, you know, whether he was retired, thrown out, walked away, it's a sign that the Nintendo you knew is dead. Nintendo is Japan's newest EA.
He worked on Shadows of the Empire.
Hmm.
Oh, is it
Yeah, for
text strings?
Jap-
He
yeah.
localized Shadows
Yeah.
of the Empire for the Japanese.
Yep.
Yep.
Seemed like it's a must be a big Star Wars fan that he did that.
Yep. And you know, it's so sad, folks, because within a generation, you know how we use EA as like an acronym for the devil of gaming? In a generation, Nintendo will be used as an acronym for the devil of gaming.
And you know what makes that entire situation fun is that just a few years ago, Nintendo was the darling of gaming.
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
they
because-
did a lot this year to just kill their reputation. Like all of 2025.
And why? Because the guy who was leaving didn't give a fuck. And the lady who was coming in is Miss Lawsuit Triggerhapper. That's her. Right? Because before a CEO or before a high ranking person leaves, all the inner circle of the next person goes in first before, you know, the next person goes in. A lot of people don't realize that. They think it's the other way around, right? You replace the top man or top woman, and then you bring in the inner circle. That doesn't work. Doesn't work that way because they want a seamless transition. That's how seamless transitions work. Replace the inner circle first, then the person at the top. That's why Nintendo has been nosediving, because a person near the top of it is essentially a legal eagle. Congratulations, Nintendo. You have Kathleen Kennedy as part of your organization. I've seen her talk. I'd rather listen to Kathleen Kennedy.
That bad.
really
I
would.
actually haven't listened to the speech, but I know what was said is very cringe and full of platitudes that just don't line up. I even made a big tweet about it. I'm not sure if you actually saw about the Great Rebellion. How if every story deserves to be told, why was that game banned even after they censored it?
I'll tell you why. Because she's a lawyer. And what are lawyers experts at doing, guys? I'll give you all one guess. Dash, what's a lawyer an expert at doing?
Risk mitigation.
Nope. Galaxy,
Yeah.
what are lawyers an expert in doing?
They're expert at well, they're just expert at what they do. I don't know. What do you say?
Damien,
sucking money out of
are
you.
lawyers experts at doing?
All right, we first need to determine, are we asking about male lawyers or female lawyers?
All of them. And it's just
Well,
a
if it-
one-word answer. I don't need a fucking paragraph.
Fucking people over.
Prove that's not what I was getting at. Slay,
Sucking money out of you.
that's also true, but that's not what I was getting at. The answer is lawyers are great at lying.
Ah, yeah.
Ah, of course.
Should have known.
He's a
Liar, liar,
liar.
liar, liar. You know that movie?
Yeah.
And Carrie. Okay.
These are people who twist they twist the truth into lies to make a legal argument, whether it's in criminal or civil cases, to get their clients off in more ways than one. Damien, you really should be a legal assistant, okay?
Why?
Take entrapment to a whole nother level. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the fifth topic. This wasn't originally planned, folks, but breaking news. And we got plenty of time to talk about this, because if you think we're crazy, we will punt you into the moon. Because that's what the US government plans to do, as the United States government, ladies and gentlemen, admits to having energy weapons and sonic weaponry. Okay, we'll start off with the energy weapons first, folks. And this was literally released about an hour and a half ago. Okay, scroll up, because I want to see it. Courtesy of the Department of War, their CTO branch. Quote, yes, the Department of War has directed energy weapons. Yes, we are scaling them. People thought that this was science fiction. I think it's very good that the US government has publicly admitted this. Let's face it, the Chinese government did not publicly tell people. Instead, they just showed it to people, right? They showed, but not tell, if you know what I mean. They're that kind of people, okay? And yeah, and you're seeing this all over X, because this is a breaking news story. The United States, and one of the great things I'll credit about this Trump administration second time around, is that they're open, honest, and transparent about anything that isn't Epstein related.
If it ain't about the Jews, it's okay.
What files? What are you talking about? What files? Directed energy weapons. What files? What files? I want Greenland. What files? What files? We use sonic weaponry to capture a foreign leader. What files? What files? What are you talking about? What files? We nuked Pyongyang. What files? What files, guys? We initiated a full-scale nuclear war which killed 4 billion people. What files? What are you talking about?
Don't you heard they're a hoax, a liberal hoax.
Yes, the files were a liberal hoax. Just like the fact that the CIA tortured hundreds of prisoners without trial to death from 2001 to 2014. What files? What are you talking about? But scroll down, please. And folks, I just want to tell you all of that, what I just said, is true, except for nuking Pyongyang and killing 4 billion people. Everything else was true. Okay, what a nice picture. You guys don't know which picture I'm laughing at, but I just find it very, very interesting. Right?
One above,
I'll let you think that, Galaxy.
Yeah.
They're both kind of.
Stop scrolling up. Scroll down. Oh dear. See, look. This. There you go. There we go. Right. Yes, directed energy weapons are a thing. Get Ian Miles Ching Chong off my screen. Okay, I know it's not.
I can even see.
Right, because I want people to realize, folks, right, that when a government is confident enough to admit this, they probably have something even worse behind the scenes, like, oh, I don't know, plasma weapons.
That one's funny.
Right?
Yeah, I like that one.
And you know, I found this out thanks to an interview that a former CIA agent made with, I think it was Stephen Bartlett of Diary of a CEO. It was either him or Tucker Carlson, in which this former CIA agent made it clear that a question was asked of a former CIA director, basically saying, does the president have a right to target American citizens on American soil? And the response was, if that American citizen was deemed a national security risk, yes. So technically, the authorities in the US have the right to drone strike their own citizens in their own country. And that should terrify all of you.
Now everyone's just
they will
posting the
need
same
drones.
thing.
Yeah, they don't need drones anymore, though. They'll use they'll use sharks with freaking laser beams on their heads.
It's a Fallout quote.
Yeah.
And then
Okay,
next thing you
folks.
know, the Department of Health will be saying, "Oh, there's just a random uptick in spontaneous combustion. People aren't being laser beamed out of the
Yeah.
streets."
Yeah, like this is what I want. Covenant weapons, man. Like they're so cool.
It's terrifying, folks. This technology is terrifying. But you know what's even worse, ladies and gentlemen? A few days ago in an interview, President Donald J. Trump publicly admitted that during the operation to capture Venezuelan leader President Nicolas Maduro, however you pronounce his name, the people who grabbed him used sonic weaponry to essentially bleed out the ears of his Cuban security to the point where they went insane and killed themselves. Okay, this is not a matter of opinion. It's a matter of fact.
I thought they just got sick. I didn't know they killed themselves.
No, they went nuts because their ears bled out. They were violently sick, Galaxy. But if you've ever had, both your eardrums blasted out and you're vomiting all over the place, your body is literally destabilizing to the point of death.
Okay, well.
And if you honestly think that this administration wouldn't use such technology on its own citizenry, then I will dare to call you, not you individually, but you plural, naive. I'm amazed this tech isn't being used in Minnesota.
That's what I was.
Well,
just
that would
gonna
be
say.
such a huge scandal. I don't agree with you.
Well, it would be a huge scandal, but
Yeah, I
what
don't
would
think
Trump
they'd
do? What would Trump do? He would then release the Epstein files. Because this is an administration of smoke and mirrors. It's an administration of, repackaging the status quo and making it look better. It's terrifying, right? As Dash just looks through, who am I dating next week?
I'm just saying hi to Ultra Tabletop RPGer. Hey, we
Good
gotta
to know
have
you're
you.
saying hi to a man. Great to see you, my good man.
Yeah, we gotta have him on at some point.
His systems hate StreamYard in the same way that. No, I'm not going to answer that point. But I just want to find, on my end, right? I'm going to type in on X, Trump sonic weapons, because he publicly admitted this in an interview. I don't know if any of you guys heard about it, but you can tell this administration is confident about itself when it's revealing things. And, Dash, stop sharing your screen so I can share mine. Right?
All right.
Because I want people to see this. This is not science fiction. The man admitted it. Okay? Open source intel. Question. There was a sonic weapon that took out many of the Cuban bodyguards that were used. Is that something Americans should be afraid of? It's something I don't want to... Nobody else has it. Right? And look, the Cubans publicly admitted that almost all of their bodyguards were murdered during the operation. And their bodies, which were returned to Cuba, their bodies did not return in caskets. They returned in little cardboard boxes, like they had been incinerated. What does that tell you?
The thing is, I hate to say this thing. It's like if the technology does exist, it's like, all right, why are they only using it now? Why didn't they use it before? Why haven't they used it against Putin?
One word, Damien? Confidence. They're confident in using it in a specific situation. If they had used similar technology against the Russians, the world wouldn't exist right now. Because whether you like to admit it or not, yes, Russia is bleeding to death in terms of its military and economic capacity in Ukraine, but they have thousands of nuclear missiles. They could end the world if they wanted to. Doing something like this against the Venezuelans or the Cubans is one thing. Doing it against the Russians is a completely different thing. There's a reason, guys, and sorry to go on a tangent here, because that's not the show for this isn't the show for tangents. But there's a reason that the West doesn't really fuck with North Korea. You want to know why? Anyone want to take a wild guess?
No.
Because of the nukes you just said.
Exactly. Exactly. The United States has showed, especially the United States, that it has a history of, if you don't have nuclear weapons, I rule you. Venezuela, Cuba with the blockade, Venezuela with kidnapping their leader, regime changes in Iraq and Libya. I mean, very few countries on earth have resisted US attempts to subvert them and prevailed without the use of nuclear weapons. The only two I can think of is Vietnam and Afghanistan. And they were very unique exceptions to the rule. Almost every other nation that is hostile to the US that doesn't have nuclear weapons is either dead or dying. What does that tell you? That the only way to defend yourself and your sovereignty is to have your own independent nuclear deterrent. And
Mutual
to develop
assured destruction.
Yes, exactly. And to develop your own laser weapons, your own sonic weapons. Look, the North Koreans, right? Because I'll use them as a great example of this situation. Talk about a country that does not give a fuck. This is a country that will literally use biological warfare that could kill millions of people, the dosage to kill millions of people on one person. And guess who that person was? The Supreme Leader's older brother, Kim Jong-nam. And you know how they did that? They convinced a bunch of, I think it was Malaysian students, to pull a prank on a guy in the airport, Kim Jong-nam, Kim Jong-un's older brother, and pretend it was like a viral prank. Put something over his face like a white towel to embarrass him. That white towel was full of VX. Right. A milliliter of VX can kill 1 million people if it's properly dosed and put into products and things. They used a substance capable of killing 1 million people per milliliter to kill one man. That's the reason America doesn't fuck with North Korea. Okay? So when we see these statements of, oh, we have energy weapons, we have sonic weaponry, and we will use them, it's chest beating, right? Are we surprised?
No, it's a
Trump does
power
this all
move.
the
It was
time.
obviously a power move.
Yes. And yeah, I use North Korea as a specific example, guys, because they like chest beating as well, but of a different kind, right? Like, here's an example, right? An official, a defense official, fell asleep during a meeting. The meeting went on for 8 fucking hours. Who can blame him? He's an old guy. In response, the North Korean authorities not only arrested him, not only did they execute him. Do you know what they executed him with? Let's take like a guess. Let's start off with Bash. What do you think? What do you think they executed him with?
Gas.
Nope. Galaxy? Just a wild guess.
I don't know.
Take a wild guess.
like, I don't know, some kind of chemical, but I don't know.
Nope. Damien,
Fentanyl.
Yes.
what do you think this defense minister? What do you think his execution punishment was? How did he die by? Take a
Poisoning.
wild guess. Nope. Slay?
Did they turn him to a eunuch?
Nope. Nope, because that isn't execution, that's castration.
Yeah,
They
but you could still bleed
executed
out from
him-
that.
Yeah, they executed him with an anti-aircraft gun. You know, literally an anti-aircraft gun designed to shoot down planes. They
Jesus.
pulverized his body to pieces in public using an anti-aircraft gun.
All because he fell asleep.
Yes, during an 8-hour meeting. Now you understand
Ridiculous.
why. You know, it's
Those North
ridiculous.
Koreans are fucking scary.
They are. That's why no one fucks with them. Tats. Okay? That's why they're known as the Eternal Kingdom. Because they will literally they will do whatever it takes. Okay? To ensure their survival. And Trump, though he doesn't take it to anywhere near that extreme, has a very similar mindset. That's why he met Kim Jong-un back in 2018. Remember that?
Yep.
It's fucking crazy.
I was in Nashville when that was happening.
Yeah. It was absolutely insane. Trump met a dictator who literally ordered the poisoning of his older brother with the equivalent poison to kill 1 million people.
And let's not forget
And
when
he
he
walked in basically with no bodyguards.
Hey, remember that student that died after he was returned to us?
Yes. Yeah. And what was that student's crime? He took a poster off a wall. They tortured him 23 hours a day, 7 days a week. He eventually got released, but they slipped a little bit of poison in his system. So by the time he went back to America, he was dead. Do you know why they did that? So he couldn't talk and tell people about his experience. And what was his crime? Taking a poster. I'll tell you this, if American law had North Korean punishments, there would be no fucking crime.
Right.
Yeah. But thank God
Could you
we're not like that.
Literally, folks, right? I think, because I'm thinking
then
about
we'll-
this, I'm thinking about this situation with Trump admitting to sonic weapons, the Department of War.
He's
admitting
saber
to
rattling
nuclear
again.
weapons.
That's all he is. He's trying to like scare these European cucks who are like trying to stand up against him. And then he's also trying to like scare like Putin in North Korea and stuff like that. You know, he's got all these like conflicts happening all over the world. You know,
Do you know what?
there's geopolitics behind it.
Do you know what's really scary about this rhetoric, though? Apart from the fact that it's truthful, because this is confirmed, right? America has no reason to lie about these things, okay? Is that it normalizes this mindset, which plays right into the hands of the Russians, the Chinese, and especially the North Koreans, right? The North Koreans have a plan in place to stick their entire artillery systems on the South Korean capital, Seoul, so that by the time that their country is crushed in a conventional conflict, they would have utterly decimated half of South Korea's population by targeting one city.
Mm.
And they will happily do it.
Oh, I know they
without
will.
remorse,
They've
right?
wanted to do it for nearly like 70 years.
Yes, because they see South Korea and they see Japan and they also see Taiwan as essentially US occupied puppet states. Essentially, right? And you know, it is debatable with Taiwan. With South Korea, it's not debatable because without the US's support, South Korea would still be a military dictatorship shithole. And of course, Japan literally run America for 7 years during the occupation. A lot of people forget about that. Without America, Japan and South Korea would not exist, quite frankly. Taiwan is a bit of a different story, though. But I will make this point, because I know it's a bit shocking. What I've told you is a bit shocking. But what I can tell you is, if you are loyal to these despotic regimes, they will give you a lovely house. It'll have running water, electricity, a consistent food supply. And if you stay loyal for the rest of your life, you will not die a miserable death. How about that?
Yeah, so I really wanted to talk about this just because,
Yeah.
like, just the whole energy weapons thing, it's just me being a 13-year-old again, just like, laser guns,
Yep.
Yeah,
Look,
I
man,
know. It's
they're gonna-
scarier in reality than like it actually is. Like people can
They're gonna-
actually like die, like the
Yeah,
next stage of warfare.
They will stick these things on naval ships, and missiles will become irrelevant because they'll just be lasered out of the sky. It'll be like remember the days with the battleships with the great big naval guns, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
Just replace those naval guns with big laser guns, and they'll just be firing laser guns at like thousands of miles away from each other, mind you, because they travel at the speed of light. It completely renders missiles null and void. And if you put those lasers on satellites, they could laser nuclear weapons before they even hit the upper atmosphere. Because America is the only country on Earth with an early warning system. Because
Wasn't
of
that
all the
Reagan's
satellite.
Star Wars plan? The laser
Yes.
defense system?
Yep.
Yes. It's so weird because the US basically bullshitted the Soviet Union into its death by saying, oh, we have the Star Wars program. We're going to have lasers in space getting rid of Soviet missiles. Didn't have that technology in the fucking 1980s. It's such an American thing to basically bullshit your enemy to death.
Mm-hmm.
For all we know, this is all fake, right? For all we know, the Americans are just lying. It's not the first time they've lied about things. But when you're confident, you don't lie. Let's face it. No, frankly. Okay? But I will make the point that no matter all the blasé and all the bluster we're seeing coming out of the White House, let's face it, no other administration would have publicly revealed all of that stuff. You see Joe Biden admitting to having energy weapons, he'd be like, well, we've got a weapon.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes.
Well, I mean,
It's
he
fucking
might have let it slip. Like we have, but of course, everyone would think he's just senile, which he is.
Yeah. He's at a defense briefing, right, to journalists, and he's supposed to say, "We have a bigger bomb than the Russians," but he doesn't say bigger. He says the other word. And he literally said that in the Senate when he was seen. Well, not seen.
Oh yeah,
when
back
he
when it was okay for Democrats to be racist and hang out with racists. Yeah, they do a good job of hiding that part of their history.
So 1995.
Yeah.
Wasn't that
people
long
have
ago,
short
folks.
memories. People have short
Yeah,
memories, and
we
people
do.
are stupid.
We do.
Yeah,
we
people
do,
are saying
folks.
that it's swapped. Like people are
Yeah,
like,
like the magic party swap. Like
yeah.
did
I was like, no, it didn't swap at all.
there was no
Well,
swap.
the truth was that when more of the blacks that used to be under the oppressive conditions of the South started going north, the people that were oppressing them followed them. So
Oh, yeah.
that's what that north-south switch was. It wasn't really party lines. It was the party stayed the same. They just switched territories.
Find it very interesting that you have to jump and change hats to speak.
That's because he's using a PNG tuber
Yeah, I'm
model.
a PNG tuber now. I had to the 3D model was taking up too much power on my computer, I think.
You got to be
That's why
careful. You got to be careful, Slay, because if Damien gets underneath you, he'll be turned on by that.
Yeah,
You'll
better
you'll
watch
have to
out.
stop speaking. Yeah, you better watch out, right? But let's because we only have about 15 minutes until the end of the show. Future plans won't take that long, right? I want people to paint a picture in their own heads, right? We have all these advanced weapons, and they're going to get more advanced. They're going to get crazier. We are going to see plasma weapons. We are going to see super soldiers. We are going to see cybernetically augmented combat veterans who will malfunction and kill a motherfucker. Okay? That's going to happen. Doesn't matter if it's 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. I'm going to assume we're all going to live for the next 50 years. Okay? Going to assume that. I'm going to assume life expectancy jumps up to 100 because of advances. We could be facing a future where this technology will be used to render nuclear weapons null and void to the point where the only way to win a war is conventionally again. You know, like pre-nukes, like World War I, World War II, right? And in that scenario, we're all fucked. Because America will fight China to protect Taiwan. Now, currently, that won't happen because both sides have nukes. But if one side can laser the other side's nukes, because China has the laser technology, so does America. So if both sides can laser each other's nukes, it's down to conventional forces. And I don't know if you've heard about this with China, folks. China aren't as nuts as North Korea. They used to be. Like when Dash Attack's father was his age, okay, but not anymore. But they have the potential to be as mad as the North Koreans are today, right? This is a country whose founder, the George Washington of China, Mao Zedong, said in order to win a war with America, he would sacrifice half of China's population, which back then was 300 million people. Do you know how many people it is today? 600 million people. This man is revered as George Washington is in America. That's the mindset you'd be going up against in a toe-to-toe confrontation with the Chinese. Even if none of their weapons worked, there's so many of them, you guys would literally run out of ammunition before you do them all in. They're that kind of people.
I was going to say, not to mention, one side is very, very disciplined.
Yes.
And then the other side is very comfortable right now because
Yes.
of Chinese products coming over, ironically.
Chinese products that are literally built to blow themselves up in the event of a conflict, including power grids. Right. So I know we've tangented quite a bit from the US admitting to having energy weapons and sonic weapons. Maybe this is the reason why, to like scare America's adversaries to be like, you don't want to fuck with us. We have the best technology, bros. Yeah, please ignore the fact that 2/3 of our population are fat fuckers who can't even stand up to pick up their remotes. Ooh, there's a gun behind every blade of grass. Well, I can see the people behind the blade of grass because you're all fucking 400-pound motherfuckers. You're big targets, man. Right? I don't think Dash, Galaxy, Zine, and Slay are obese. Damien's not American, he's South African, right? But I'm going to assume, right, since 2/3 of America's population are clinically obese, the 2/3 of our panel, so 2/3 of 6 is 4, are obese. Now I don't want to call Dash fat or Galaxy fat.
I
Slay
might not
fat.
be as like roided out in as my VTuber, but I'm not fat.
Well, let's put it this way, guys. You're Americans. How many fat people do you see in your local area?
A lot.
All the time.
Right. Do you know how many fat people I see in China?
None.
Exactly.
Because they're all probably starving.
Yes. Or they were probably executed by an anti-aircraft gun.
Well,
That's the kind of people we're up against, man. Right? And just to tie this topic in a bow before we go into future plans, let's take a lesser enemy. Let's take an enemy we could literally punt kick to the moon. Iran. Right? They don't have
Yeah.
nuclear weapons. They have a large army. Their country geographically looks like a fortress. But America could crush Iran. Might
Well,
take
especially now, like they
Yeah.
massacred a ton of their people, though. Like recently, I
yeah.
don't know if the riots are still going on.
No, they're not. Because in a masterstroke, the Iranians turned off public internet, Elon Musk turned on Starlink, and the Iranians tracked where all the Starlink stuff was. So thanks to Elon Musk, the Iranians were able to massacre all the rebels. And they
Oh.
publicly thanked him for it.
Oh God.
Oh shit!
Yes. He inadvertently wiped out the entire Iranian dissident movement, and the Iranians congratulated him. Yeah, 20,000 people. They killed 20,000 people in a week, right? Even regimes America could punt kick to the moon are not afraid of just massacring anyone who stands in their way, including American people, right? If America is not prepared under the scenario where America goes into Iran, if they fuck it up, the Iranians are not afraid to just, hello, Furious Dan. I'm sorry to bring this subject up because Furious Dan has a family member who's in the armed forces, so sorry you have to hear this. But if the Americans ever invaded Iran and botched the invasion, the Iranians, no second thought, massacre them all. No second thought. If they're like that with their own people, do you think they'll be any less merciless to foreigners? So that's
Yeah.
why you've got to pound your chest. You've got to be like, we have these weapons, we have this technology, don't mess with us. Because there are a lot of countries on Earth, not all of them, but a lot of them, who would happily relish in tearing Americans to pieces. Right? Most of them don't have the means to fucking do so, but they will happily sit back and enjoy that happening.
Oh
So
yeah.
yes, hate the world. It fucking hates you. So there you go. On that note, I love to end things on a positive note, don't you?
Yeah, geez, man, you went like so dark.
I know, but it was a breaking news topic, and let's face it, whenever we talk about weapons on this show, which is never, you have to go dark because war is hell.
Yep.
For everyone involved. So on that note, 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 40 seconds. I hope you enjoyed this cheerful show, folks. And if you are in the military, get out of it while you still can. Dash, future plans. Go ahead.
Well,
Tell us
my future
what dates
plans.
you're going to be on.
No, I'm just going to see the new Silent Hill movie with my father.
Oh, well, good luck.
Yeah, I'm hoping they don't fuck it up. Because Silent Hill 2 is my favorite game. I passed the remake because I didn't think it was doing the original justice. So, but I do like the original Silent Hill movie, and it's the same director. So I'm really hoping this new adaptation is going to be really good because I fucking love Silent Hill 2.
I think this Silent Hill movie will stick to the lore just as well as the Resident Evil movies did. I have a lot of confidence.
Oh, geez. Thank you for the vote of confidence.
Yeah, folks, I as a passive observer, and horror's not my thing, but I have a tacit curiosity in Silent Hill and Resident Evil. And then I find out how much the franchises have been gang raped to death. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to get involved. But what about you, Galaxy Red? What are your future plans?
Well, if I have, if that snowstorm that it's supposed to start around like 9, I think around 8 or 9 or something like that. But if it, so I should be able to still stream tomorrow. But if not, then I won't be streaming, but tomorrow I should be streaming and finishing up Breath of Fire, and then after that, around 7, if I'm still got power and everything, I would be on Starcast. So.
Oh, good. Good.
Okay.
Well, best of luck to you. Hopefully you don't get snowed in.
Yeah.
And fingers crossed, all works out well. I have vested interest in ensuring all of America loses power tomorrow because I don't want to do 2 shows in a day. Look, in the UK, if a foot of snow fell in 24 hours, the entire country would collapse. And the Muslims would freeze to death. So win-win. How about you, Damien? What are your future plans?
My future plans are the same as usual. I will be streaming tomorrow and Sunday. My last stream of Hollow Knight on Saturday, and my last stream of Look Outside on Sunday.
Very good. I'm half tempted to make a show about North Korea and how it's so great if you don't want to be obese anymore. Like, imagine if a country was a diet program. That would be such a great idea. We send fat Americans to North Korea as part of a diet program.
Sponsored by Ozempic.
Yes. Oh dear. Could you imagine if the North Koreans had a Ozempic? They would literally be translucent. But on that note, Slay, what are your future plans?
So tonight, 8 o'clock, I will be on Toasty with the Mosties stream. Their Friday night, because we usually go from Friday night into Saturday morning panel party thing. And then if the power doesn't go out, I will be doing Skullcast Sunday on Sunday morning at 7 a.m. But if not, I will be back to my usual schedule Monday through Thursday at 1, streaming Skullcast and Skullcast Alternative.
Good. Very good. I'm going to make a few videos for Saturday and Sunday, both on YouTube and Rumble. Those are my future plans. When does the snowstorm start? Guys?
It depends on where we are, I guess. But for me, it's supposed to be around 8 or 9, somewhere around there.
Right,
Well,
right.
I'm on the East Coast, so I'll probably get it first.
Right.
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast too, Dash. That's on me.
I'm just trying to calculate because I'm like, what's the point in releasing videos if no one's going to have any power to watch them? I'll have to put some thought into that. But yeah, you can check me out at the Dignified Cartoon Gentleman. I recently hit 330 subs, so that's a good milestone. Appreciate everyone's support. You know where to find me, especially if you want all the latest and greatest news. Okay, so thank you all very much for watching the 20th episode of Dash Attack's Old White Road. Why is it called that? Because he likes them old, white, and on the road. That's why he's going to the cinema with his father. At least that's what he's calling him.
Yeah, I know. Like my secret date. All right.
It's crazy. It's
Your
crazy.
daddy.
But
All right.
why don't you wrap up the show, Dash, and
All right.
find a younger man?
All right. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next week for the 21st episode. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.